Travel consideration provided by...
Dancing is everything. Soccer is the best.
But her moderate to severe eczema could make it hard for her.
Now I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
It's E.T.
at the Golden Globes.
Does that translate?
Tomorrow on E.T., your Golden Globes after party is here. All the fun things you didn't see on TV and the stars bring in the fashion heat.
Kerry Washington, really?
Happy New Year!
Meanwhile, it's a new year, new gig for Ben Affleck. Yep, that is Ben all smiles working the drive-thru at a Boston Dunkin' Donuts. Why? A source tells ET it's for a new commercial written...
Happening now.
A family says they are lucky to be alive today after a car came barreling through straight into their backyard and inside their home. We'll have details coming up.
Up near 80 degrees, but not for long. A cold front is just around the corner. We'll talk about when that arrives, what it means for temperatures, and how it's going to affect the Mountain Cedar count in just a bit.
And the use of buy now, pay later services is growing. But what if there's a problem with your purchase? Coming up, how to avoid the pitfalls of these services and what might be a better way to buy. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, a breaking news update. The execution of a former Houston police officer has been halted by a civil court judge. The temporary injunction has been issued by a civil court judge preventing the state from using expired drugs to carry out Robert Fratta's execution. Fratta was set for execution by lethal injection after he hired 2 people to kill his estranged wife nearly 30 years ago. The state will appeal the decision to a higher court. The execution was scheduled to take place sometime after 6 o'clock tonight.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding these children here and their grandmother. Take a look at your screen right now. This family last seen Sunday afternoon on the far south side.
The Sheriff's Office says the grandmother, 58-year-old Melissa Osorio, may have health issues that require medication. They shared these pictures on Facebook. The kids are 9-year-old Lovely Sanchez, 8-year-old Melanie Sanchez, and Juan and Manuel Sanchez, who are both 6 years old. They were last seen in the 15,000 block of U.S. Highway 181 South.
That is near Elmendorf. If you know anything about where they are, you're asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, 210-335-6000. You can also email them at missingpersons@bear.org.
Want to show you a traffic headache at this hour right now. This is a live picture at I-35 and Evans Road near Retama. It looks as if it's the northbound lanes here. And you can see traffic is at least moving at this point. At least one lane is open. Just moments ago, no lanes were open. Again, this is I-35 at Evans Road. It looks like it's just a massive traffic accident there, but it's between those barricades because of road construction, and that just shuts everything down. But they do have at least one lane open right now. Traffic is moving, but you can see it's heavy in both directions at I-35. Again, this is out near Retama Park. A family counting their blessings after a suspected drunk driver crashes through their backyard and right into their home.
Our Jonathan Cotto reports the family just moved in last month, but they are still thankful despite all that damage.
I don't know, I'm just real thankful. We had a guardian angel, watching us.
Melissa Cruz says she is thankful she and her family are alive and well after a car barreled into her home early Tuesday morning.
We're kind of washing up, getting ready for bed. And then we just hear like a crash, and then a few seconds later, we just hear a loud boom.
Police arrived to the 1400 block of Green Jay Drive on the city's northeast side. They say a woman in her 30s drove a car through a wooden fence and into Cruz's home.
Half the wall was on top of her car. We just kept asking if she was okay. Was anybody okay? I called 911 right away.
Cruz says as she was on the phone with 911, the driver of the car still had the pedal to the metal.
So I don't know if she was trying to reverse or go forward.
Melissa tells us this was her children's playroom, a safe space they spent a lot of time in. In fact, her and her boyfriend were in this room just moments before the impact.
I was in some shock.
Cruz and her family just moved into this home a month ago today. But neighbors say this isn't the first time a car has ended up inside someone's home.
I've seen 2 cars come through this back fence with intoxicated drivers and hit this house.
The driver of the car, 31-year-old Sequestini Shea O'Neill, was arrested and charged with DWI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. Cruz says she's not mad at her, but wishes she would have made a better decision.
I'm against drunk driving. I don't understand why people still do it. It not only harms them, but it also harms other people.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
We are still working to learn the name of a man killed while trying to break into a downtown apartment this morning. According to SAPD, the person who lived in that apartment shot the suspect. This happened around 7 this morning at an apartment on West Euclid near San Pedro. Police say a man tried to kick down a bolted door to that apartment, but before he could get in, the person inside pulled out a gun and fired. That suspect died there at the scene. San Antonio police have ruled this a case of self-defense.
We have new information about a shooting involving 2 San Antonio police officers at a motel last weekend. We have learned that Jose Iriegas was shot by police after threatening people with a gun and pointing it at the officers. Officer Joshua Nicholson and Ryan Tovar shot Iriegas after he was in critical condition at the time. However, KSAT Investigates found out on Tuesday that the gun used by that suspect was in fact a BB gun. That's what he pointed at officers. The officers are on administrative duty while Iriegas faces 2 felony charges of terroristic threats against a police officer.
A gun shop has been the target of multiple attempted break-ins.
Yeah, the most recent attempt at Ranger Firearms 5 this morning proved unsuccessful as thieves tried to break the locks and enter the security gate. However, this is the 3rd try the would-be robbers had at targeting this shop. They didn't manage to take anything this time, but business owner Edward DeWeese says he's getting tired of being on edge.
Every time the phone rings in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, God, what's happening?
Now, the owner has been working closely with police to try to stop the robbers. Evidence collected at the scene so far includes pry bars and grinders used for trying to break the security gate. One suspect is in police custody, but investigators are continuing their search. The Department of Justice has appealed a federal court ruling that blamed the U.S. Air Force for the 2017 Sutherland Springs shooting. That ruling, made in July of 2021, found the Air Force 60% responsible for the deaths of 26 people and 22 wounded in the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs. The Air Force was ordered to pay more than $230 million to survivors and families left behind. DOJ attorneys argued that the judge placed more blame on the Air Force than the shooter himself, Devin Patrick Kelly. Court papers written by those attorneys state the United States does not seek to excuse the Air Force's failure to submit Kelly's fingerprints, but the United States is not liable for Kelly's actions, end quote. Families of the victims sued the Air Force after the shooter's criminal past was not entered into a national database.
President Joe Biden spending his 2nd day in Mexico City, where he's already reached agreements on immigration with the leaders of Mexico and Canada. The trip comes on the heels of the president's visit to the Texas-Mexico border. And as KBC's Karen Travers explains, there are questions whether the meetings are truly addressing the conditions at the border.
The leaders of the U.S., Canada, and Mexico posing for photos here in Mexico City before getting down to business. On the agenda for today's one-day North American Leaders Summit, migration, supply chains, and drug smuggling and trafficking. Before the meetings got underway, the 3 countries already announcing minor agreements on those issues, including a commitment to increased information sharing on chemicals used in the illicit manufacturing of fentanyl and other synthetic drugs, and working together to try to encourage migrants to apply for legal status. Facing major criticism for the influx of migrants at the U.S. southern border, the White House downplayed expectations for any major breakthroughs at this summit. Under the new plan announced last week by President Biden, the U.S. will immediately expel migrants from Nicaragua, Venezuela, Haiti, and Cuba who cross the border illegally. Mexico has agreed to take 30,000 per month. President Biden squeezing in some one-on-one time with both leaders, sitting down Monday night with Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. store.
Mexico is a true partner, and when we work together in common values and mutual respect, nothing much is beyond our reach.
And meeting earlier Tuesday with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I think what we should be doing, and we are doing, is demonstrating the unlimited economic potential that we have when we work together.
President Biden accepted an invitation from Prime Minister Trudeau to visit Canada in March. This will be the president's first time visiting Canada since taking office. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Feeling the warmth today, 79 degrees, our high temperature, well above the average of 63. And right now we're 82 in Hondo, 82 Carrizo Springs, Del Rio, as warm as 85. Now Warren's backyard at 83 along with Eagle Pass. Locally, we're looking at temperatures in the 70s to right near 80, even 81 currently in Rick's backyard in Bernie. This evening, clear, south wind 3 to 8, fog developing late tonight. We'll still have mild temperatures, 60 degrees at 10 p.m. And then by tomorrow morning, we're looking at some 50s with that fog. We'll talk about how low the visibility will be, how long that fog is going to last, and our cold front just about a day and a half away. Get to the details in a sec.
All right, thanks, Adam. It has been described as an epidemic, childhood obesity. Millions of children and teenagers are living with the sometimes debilitating condition. But for the first time in 15 years, this week, something that's getting a lot of attention, new guidelines on combating childhood obesity. More than 14 million children and teens live with obesity, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, and helping them now is key.
Diseases in adults that affect Americans, cancer, cardiovascular disease. Obesity, is the number one driver of these conditions.
Dr. Sarah Armstrong is one of the authors of the new AAP guidelines that say treatment for younger children struggling with obesity should focus on behavior and lifestyle changes for the entire family. That includes nutrition support and increased physical activity. In addition to that, for children 12 and older, the AAP says use of weight loss medications is appropriate. The guidelines say teens 13 and older with severe obesity should be evaluated for surgery.
There are effective treatments for children, and they are safe, and they work when they're done properly.
For children and teens, a body mass index at or above the 85th percentile and below the 95th percentile is considered overweight. Obesity is defined as a BMI at or above the 95th percentile. Armstrong says many factors influence weight, but one of the biggest drivers is something that can't be controlled: genetics.
This guidance aims to suggest that rather than kind of letting parents and kids have a DIY approach with lifestyle, let's use the evidence and let's give them this comprehensive, holistic care that we know works.
Now, Armstrong says one major barrier to the new guideline is that many of the suggested treatments aren't covered by most insurance policies. She says more needs to be done to provide all children the access to appropriate treatments.
You've probably seen these when checking out online. Buy now, pay later services. It's a way to get your hands on what you want without the full upfront costs. But what if there's a problem? Are you still responsible for the payment? Chances are yes. We're going to show the smarter way you may want to pay when we come back. And tonight at 6, we're battling a long list of viruses this winter, and it's hitting kids especially hard. One of the symptoms, a rash. Many families have trouble determining what caused the rash, if it's a cause for a doctor's visit. At 6, we've got a local doctor that breaks it all down for us.
Plus, a new face at the head of Bexar County government today for the first time in more than 20 years. A look at Judge Peter Sakai's first meeting of Commissioners Court and what he is looking to accomplish today at 6. If you do much shopping, you've probably seen the options at checkout like Afterpay, Sezzle, and Affirm. Sounds great. You get what you want now and then you pay it off interest-free. But there can be problems. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has ways to protect your money if you buy now, pay later.
When Javier Chairez bought golf gear, he paid for it with a buy now, pay later plan from a company called Affirm. But one problem.
The retailer claimed that I received it. I I didn't, so I started making phone calls.
When he called a firm, he was surprised to learn he was still on the hook for the weekly payments.
I'm hung out to dry.
In the statement, Affirm said, quote, "We do our best to support all Affirm consumers throughout their purchasing journey, including assisting with return and refund issues." But Javier isn't alone. A Consumer Report survey found 28% of people who used a buy now, pay later service had at least one problem, like being overcharged or having difficulty with a return or refund. The short-term no-interest loans can be attractive, but Consumer Report says a low or no-interest credit card might be a better option.
Credit cards give you better protections on purchases that are damaged upon delivery or never received at all.
If you're going to use a buy now, pay later service, money advisors say don't overdo it. Try not to have more than 1 or 2 loans open at the same time.
It's also a good idea to stick with just one provider so that you're not stuck juggling multiple loans with multiple vendors.
And if you can't make the payment, contact the company ahead of time because you may be able to reschedule that payment. Also, it's a good idea to set up auto pay to avoid potential penalties. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take you back out here to I-35 at Evans. We showed you this right at 5 o'clock, and it doesn't look like things have improved much. Traffic's still moving, but at a crawl, at least through this one lane because of an accident.
Yeah, really in both directions, even on the access road. To give you an idea where we're looking at, this is I-35 in Evans is just past Retama. So it gives you an idea, just past Retama Park. And some type of accident they're dealing with, one lane open, northbound, but even the southbound traffic very slow. I think that's just people trying to get a look at what's happening in the other lanes.
I-35.
At 5.
Right?
Right between those barricades, those barriers. So even if you get a flat tire in there, it's going to back things.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our weather here coming down the pike. We do have a cold front that's going to hit us tomorrow night. It's going to have an impact on our weather. But before that makes it here, we still have another round of fog tomorrow morning and then sunny and 80s tomorrow afternoon. We're talking record challenging warmth tomorrow. Then the cold front hits tomorrow night and there's going to be a temperature swing with it. However, we're not expecting a freeze around San Antonio with this cold front. It's going to be a noticeable temperature drop. Morning low temperatures, so at the bus stop, Wednesday 56, Thursday 53. By Friday, behind that front, we're down to 38. Even Saturday morning, we're at 35. So close, but not quite there around San Antonio. Different story in parts of the hill country, of course. All right, let's take a look at our future cast for the fog. This will be an issue late tonight, but more so tomorrow morning. Notice after midnight, that fog starts to build in. Those visibilities are reduced, and throughout the morning commute, we are expecting some areas of dense fog on the order of a half a mile or even less. And those visibilities, they change very rapidly and continuously throughout the morning. So it'll continue to fluctuate. But bottom line, it's probably not going to lift until about 10 or 11 a.m. Once that fog lifts, just like today, it's off to sunshine and warm temperatures. Tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting low 80s around San Antonio. Officially in town, probably about 82 degrees. Get to Kelly Field, west side, about 83. Even New Braunfels, 82. Kerrville, 83. Devine, Poteet, Pleasanton, 84. And the record in San Antonio is 84 degrees. And right now we're predicting to be just 2 degrees shy of that record high. And then notice the trend behind the cold front. Temperatures reset back down into the 60s, closer to average for this time of year, but still above average. Average high is 63, and we'll get as cool as about 66 for the high, and that's going to be on Friday. So little reset to our temperatures, something you'll notice. And of course, that cold front's going to get rid of any lingering humidity in the air. Here's the big picture, of course. We go to the West Coast, California, even parts of the Rockies, the atmospheric river, and these storm systems coming on shore. Now, they're bringing some good moisture to the western U.S. and even dragging some of it into the plains, just not here in Texas. We'll have a cold front from that system, but it's going to be weak and we don't have the ingredients or the moisture around to provide us with rain. And you look at just the general forecast from one computer model in particular of the next 7 days, rain, a lot of it, western U.S., not much anywhere around Texas. But what we will notice on Thursday behind our cold front is winds. Winds likely to gust around 30 to 35 miles per hour. And not only can that be inconvenient on Thursday, but it's that north wind. Mountain Cedars high today, north wind kicking in tomorrow night. Expect that Mountain Cedar count to rise on Thursday and even into Friday. So fog tomorrow morning in the mid-50s, then by the afternoon, we make it into the low 80s, feeling the warmth. Those temperatures reset and unfortunately just dry with sunshine.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
And Cedar. All right, talk about sibling rivalries.
Yep.
Played out on the court last night.
Keeping up with the Joneses, if you will,
Yeah.
when we come back in the Spurs and Memphis battle, and they'll have a chance at a rematch coming up. We'll talk about that when we come back in sports. And also, is Mike McCarthy's job on the line if they're one and done in the playoffs again? We'll ask the boss coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs tipped off a back-to-back series with the Grizzlies in Memphis last night with a loss without their top two leading scorers, and Keldon Johnson sitting out with a sore left hamstring, and Devin Vassell, who'll be undergoing an arthroscopic procedure on his left knee tomorrow in New York. But they did have Jakob Poeltl back in the lineup last night at the FedEx Forum, and Poeltl contributes right away. The nice look inside, but the brother of Trey Jones, Tyus Jones, hits a three to give Memphis a 72-61 lead at halftime. Spurs did not crumble. They bounced back in the fourth. Josh Richardson forces a turnover to start the break. Stanley Johnson gets it back to Richardson to give the Spurs the lead, 99-98. Trey Jones has his tough shot in the paint to tie the game up at 109 all, but his brother gives up the acrobatic assist to Desmond Bane, and the Grizzlies prevail 121-113. And with Ja Morant out, it was brother versus brother in the starting lineup.
It was a surreal moment tonight. Probably my favorite, basketball moment I've ever been a part of now. Getting the start against my brother, at this level, I think it means the world to the both of us. It just speaks to all the times we put in the gym. Even our playroom, Nerf hoop, whatever it is, playing 2K against each other, all those things. But to be able to go out there tonight and start against each other, meant the world to me.
That's pretty cool. Sibling rivalry continues tomorrow at 7 o'clock when the Spurs meet the Grizzlies again.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Despite being one and done in the playoffs last year against San Francisco 49ers, despite the lackluster and anemic offensive performance against the Washington Commanders in their 26-6 loss to end the regular season, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has asked point blank today on his weekly radio show in Dallas, is Mike McCarthy's job as a head coach on the line depending on what happens in this wild card weekend against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
There's a discussion.
No. I don't even want to. No. That's it. I don't need to go into all the pluses or minuses, but we're not seeing any. We're not basing. I've got a lot more to evaluate Mike McCarthy on than this playoff game.
It's almost like he's trying to convince himself when he says no. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a feeling that if they're one and done, he's gone.
Yeah. Then the no's stop.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
You got it.
We'll be right back. Keeping an eye here on this traffic tie-up that continues to be a big mess on the northeast side. The camera here at I-35 and Evans. The sun is making it a little bit hard to see, but you can see all the flashing lights there and traffic both directions on I-35 as well as the access road. Very slow going because of this wreck.
Yeah, and like we said, it's hard to make out, but it does look as if there's a bus that was involved. We don't know if it was a school bus or exactly what, but we're going to continue to monitor the situation. Still just one lane open, I-35 at Evans Road.
Thanks for watching.
See you at 6.